Hi folks, welcome to my Bit Retro Journal. Today I'm going to be looking at a portable CD player for my Macintosh PowerBook. Actually, I've had this for a long time, and I bought this back in the day at Microcenter, and still have the book with it. The one thing that's missing from here is actually the rear unit that gave you the CD-ROM part. I actually, after I got rid of my Mac, actually use this as my a CD-ROM player. I used to just have it sitting on the dashboard of my car, because you can actually put batteries in here, 4 AA's, and use it as just a regular CD player. And I did that, and so I used that for a while. Now it turns out that I kept everything except for I don't know why I got rid of the back piece, but you don't think of these things. In any case, I recently picked up for $10, and with $10 shipping, it cost $20. A replacement unit. Let me get it. Here it is. It's in a little better shape. It hasn't really yellowed as much as this one, because this used to sit on the dashboard of my car. Let me put that in the back here. And this one actually matches the color much better. So they actually made this to match the PowerBooks. But this has the back piece, which you press here, and it wheels off. And this back unit, actually I've already taken it off. It takes 8 AA batteries, and it also has an external 13-volt power adapter, which I don't have, but I do have some rechargeable AA batteries that I'm going to use. And then with if you have an actual working battery, this could be completely portable. And so with this plugged into the back of this, it has this sort of proprietary connector. But the back here, in the back here, it has the small SCSI connector, and I actually got a cable. Let me grab that. So this cable gives me Macintosh 30-pin, 2 small SCSIs. So got this for $20. So yeah, I am all set to try to hook this up to my PowerBook and have a SCSI experience. What's interesting is, so this is basically, I don't know exactly when this came out. Does it have a date? Usually they have a date here somewhere, but it was probably 92, 93, I would imagine, when I got this. I'll put it in the comment, because I don't see a date at the moment, but I'll find out when it actually came out, because I can't see anything at the moment where it gives you a date of print. But early 90s, I would assume. And but yeah, so you had your PowerBook with floppy, and then you had this as an external drive. What's interesting is in 96, the PowerBook 1400 came out, and that was the first one that had an internal CD drive. But I have this machine. Oh, it's heavy, which is my IBM ThinkPad 365SX. It's kind of hard to see, but that actually has an internal CD-ROM drive. I've had it on my channel before. And what's interesting with that, this came out in 95, 96. It has an external floppy. So they kind of flipped it about. So floppies were still important. And of course, CD-ROMs were sort of part of most laptops, I guess, late 90s into my PowerBook, my MacBook at school, 2016, had an internal DVD drive, and now I have a 2021 MacBook, and of course all it has is USB-C, which is a little frustrating. So I kind of miss my 2016 MacBook, and I have a 2011 one. Let me show you that. So this was similar to my 2016 MacBook, and you can see it has a slot loading drive. So yeah, the CD-ROM and DVD eventually was ubiquitous with most laptops, and it was an important medium. Of course, now it's gone away with solid state storage and whatnot. But So back in the early 90s with your, 91 PowerBook, again, you already had an ability to hook, microdrive. A CD-ROM drive to your PowerBook. What I want to do is just wondering if all the circuitry is in here and what this actually does. I assume this gives you some sort of termination, but I was actually just going to take it apart and take a look into it. And then I'll show you what software you have to get to actually run this, and then I'll run it. And I'll fast forward over taking this apart. All right, so here's the it's somewhat connected, but there isn't much to it. So it's really just on this side, and let me see what this kind of chip is. Don't know what that is, but yeah, mostly passive. There's one IC, but I don't think this is doing much other than maybe termination, and it basically just goes straight through to the actual unit itself. So, and then yeah, you have your selector. So this doesn't do too much. Just wondering if you could hook it directly to this with a different cable, but then you wouldn't have termination, which is an important element, and of course also not drive selection. So, so somehow this does that. Okay, the other thing I wanted to show you is I wanted to go to my desktop and show you the software that you need to run on this before I go on the actual laptop. Okay, so I've searched for FWB because that's the CD-ROM toolkit that the MediaVision book talks about. And if you look down here, it's right here. This is actually not the text. The manual has 1.0.9. This is 1.5.9. But if you scroll down here, you see it right here, MediaVision Reno. So I think I have the right one. So I'm going to download it. Close it, and I'm just going to drag it onto my C drive, and the reason why is because I have Basilisk open, and here I can just literally grab it from my C drive right here into extras, and then from here I can double click it, and it actually opened up the toolkit. And it's an image file. If I double click that, it mounts it because I have, you need disk copy 6.3. And so this is the mounted version, and I can now install it. And actually the password, so it has a password associated with it. If you go back to serial number, and it says this. But that actually does not work because, oops, that's not what I wanted to do. I want to turn this off. But if you go back to here, you'll note that at the very bottom it says the serial number above doesn't work. So this one does work, so you use this one. Okay. But back to this, if I do the install, if I look at what I have currently, it'll be pretty easy to see, but my control panels looks like that. And if I do the install and extensions, looks like that. If I do the install, continue, install, you'll see that on the control panel, it just installed this toolkit. And under extensions, it installed these 4 things. And again, the nice thing with the Mac is I can just grab these out, and what I'm going to do is create my own install, basically so I can do it by hand. I don't like installers that copy stuff, and I'm going to just create a self-extracting archive and copy it over to my PowerBook. So let's do that. Okay, well, I've got it installed. So this is the CD-ROM Toolkit 1.59. Again, I created a self-extracting archive, and so there's a toolkit, and you basically just drag that onto the system folder, and it'll put it in the control panels. You drag these in the system folder and put it in extensions. For whatever reason, Apple menu items you actually have to put in them. If you drag them in the system folder, they'll go into the system folder. Not sure what Apple never just had it in the application, so you drag the system folder, just go directly into the Apple menu items. But yeah, so that's been installed, and it's running. So if you take a look at the control panel, we've got, yep, it's at the bottom here. And yep, it sees the media vision. All right, well, let's oops, I guess I just have to close it. So let's just pop a CD in here. All right, so and the first one I'm going to pop in is Apple Developer Series. I think it's circa 1994. So this is right before the World Wide Web. And so, yeah, with DVD, and oh, it wasn't clear. Again, this is all portable. You know, if obviously I have this plugged in, but a battery, and so the batteries I put in here is just a set of 8. They're rechargeable ones, so I'm not killing any trees. Okay, so then I just hit that, and it's going to say the CD-ROM takes a while to read, and it will take a while. It's a bit slow, but it will come up eventually. I'm going to close all this stuff. All right, there it is. And then it, I want to optimize. I'm going to say no for now. And here it is. So, yep, this is Developer CD June 94, and you have a content. And I looked at this already before. It's pretty interesting. It looks like, again, this is 1994, so this is pre-World Wide Web. And just imagine that having a CD-ROM on your system, Calc will run much faster if it's copied, and you just continue. And having 600 megabytes per CD, and having, you know, you could have up to 10 or 20 or whatever CDs, it really opened up a digital library for you. So I can open up the browser. Yeah, and so you have all sorts of cool things. Disinfectant, open show path, all packages, tool chest, reference library. Oh, here we go. Apple script. You can also search for stuff if you do a find. If I want to say get next event and find that, it's going to find all instances or references of that. See how fast it is. I assume it has it somehow indexed. Here we go. And then you just click on that. And there it is. Keeping your customer focused, get next event, Apple activates an SPA. And then you have files. At one point it actually opens up the folder. Yeah, there it goes. So it actually gets you to the actual, does it open up anymore? Apple Direct, January 92. Oh, so it just opened you up in here, and so then I assume, what do you have in here? Any source? It's a Microsoft Word document. These are all Microsoft Word documents. Yeah. And suppose you can just read about that. So let's just open one of them up. So not fully integrated. It's basically just giving you an index to Microsoft Word document. And then it opens up Microsoft Word, which it expects you to have a copy on. Yep, here we go. Opening the net, making your program network savvy. Oh, okay. So yeah, so it's a, you know, sort of reference library. You can get at stuff. Pretty cool. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go back here. Let's go back to Apple 94 System Software CD. What do we got here? We have System 7 Pro. I think it's just going to open up the disk. No, background information. I see. Installing System 7. I think now it's, please find the, oh, it wants the April 94. I see. So and I might actually have that. We have it right here. So this is the April 94. Can you see it? Yep. But I'm not going to do that. I'll do one. I don't want to pop this one out and pop the other one in. Any case, so let's look at another one. Pop this one out, and here you just drag this into the trash, and it stops. Now I can open it up. This was the reference library. The April 94 is just a set of system software. I think it has System 6 and System 7. So I'm not going to, again, this is this one. I'm not going to use that. I have Mac OS 8, which I'm not going to use. We'll look at this in a second. That's BOS. See what we got. Again, I'm probably going to fast forward since this does take a little bit. All right, and here we are. No again, so this is just May 94. I don't know how I got these, but yeah, so very similar, just a different catalog. Let's see what this has on it. Anything interesting? And these seem to interconnect with each other. But yeah, very much gives you the same warning. Guess if you have the disk size, you can copy it all in here. Okay, here we go. Wow. New and revised. Oh, then it has different CDs. I see. All packages. BB Edit Lite. Oh, so it's got some software on here. I assume this will get you a BB Edit Lite. Not an Apple. So is this where you can get BB Edit Lite then? Let's see if it opens it up. Oh, it's actually blank. Yep, don't know. I mean, I have BB Edit Lite, so I'm not worried about getting it. Oh, it opened up my version of BB Edit Lite, so I don't know. Yeah. No, this is actually not BB Edit Lite. Oh, this is BB Edit Lite, so I did open it. Okay. Interesting. Let's quit. Oops. BB Edit Lite. I actually have a version of BB Edit. I don't know if I have it on here or not. About BB Edit. So that was a nice little editor. Oh wow. Let's quit it. All right, let's look at some other stuff. I don't want to spend too much time on here. So let's just quit this. And is there this one? And open this up. Yeah, I just wanted to quickly look at BOS. So this is from Mac World Edition, 1997. And again, I'm going to fast forward because it's going to take a little too long. And we're back. No. Yeah, so this is installation. It requires more hardware than this machine is, but this would allow you to install BOS on here. And I did check on the website that this provides. That website no longer exists. So b.com now is some other. I guess it's one you cannot modify this. Yeah. So b.com doesn't belong to BOS anymore. They went out of defunct a long time ago. All right. The other thing I wanted to show is let's drag this down. They actually have a copy of Sims. So this also will read. Oops. Did this not? Oh. Yeah. Let's clean up my trash can here. Boom. All right. So let's do Sims. Now this is Windows, and I think this is going to require. All right. Let's again fast forward to it. All right, here we go. Not sure why it takes usually about half a minute for it to find it. So this is a Windows game, and you can see that yeah, these are mostly so I can try to run my emulator. And if it were DOS based, so this is a soft PC, but a lot of times these require, is this running EGA? Yeah. So if you go, let's see what the network disk is. Let's go with desktop, and we would go Sims, use Sims. You can go here, $:dir. I think this is just going to say that it needs Windows 3.1 or 90. Well, this is probably Windows 95 if this was, is there just setup, yeah. Yeah, can't be running DOS, but so if I had soft Windows, I could probably try to see if to run it, but I haven't set it up yet, so let's quit that. The last thing to show, but it can, again, it can read just regular DOS CDs as well. The final thing is that it has the ability to read music CDs. And here's one, Mozart. And for that, you kind of want to plug in audio. Start that going. And then you use the app for that. And oh, it's already running. So it's much faster for this. So I could just run it this way. But I can also control it from here. It won't run through the computer, but I can just do CD remote. And that will, yeah, so I could skip to the next track. I can play it. and control the volume. Skip to the next track. 1, 2, yeah. It's playing. So yeah, so it can play audio CDs as well. So that's pretty cool. Play only chosen tracks. So gets you know, as I said, I used to use this well, the other one as a CD player after I got rid of my Mac into the early 2000s, and yeah, it was kind of useful. But yeah, kind of a cool little you know, portable CD player for my PowerBook, same color scheme. And I know MediaVision has a pretty rotten history. It went out of business pretty quickly, but this one, it was pretty inexpensive. When I got it at Microcenter. And yeah, it nice. And, you know, if I had a battery in here, this would be a nice portable system. So yeah, just wanted to show that today. So I'm going to end here. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you next time.